At the age of 5, I was thrust into the foster care system here in British Columbia. For 4 years, I stayed in 5 or 6 different homes, just not having a real great childhood. And all of a sudden, I got adopted into a Seventh-day Adventist home. And you would like to think, well, that's what made the huge difference in my life. And it did, but really what made an impact in my life was Adventist education. I was not going down the right path as I was attending public school in a little town called Golden, British Columbia, and getting myself into, all kinds of trouble. But out of the blessings of a teacher there in Golden, British Columbia, convinced me that going to Fraser Valley Adventist Academy was the thing I needed to do. It was difficult because we didn't know anyone down there, and my mom put me on a bus at the age of 14, and I got on a bus and went down to Abbotsford and lived with a family that I had never met, to go to a school I had never seen for grade 10, 11, and 12, and it impacted and changed my life. That's why I am so passionate about Adventist education. To be able to go into a school and to be able to pray with your teachers, to be able to pray with your classmates, to learn about Jesus every day is the reason why I'm sitting in front of you today. And when something impacts your life like that, you want to give back to it. And so what did I do? I decided that I wanted to be a teacher. I'm just finishing up my 35th year in Adventist education as a teacher, administrator, and now superintendent. And I've had an amazing life. God has blessed me in so many ways because of Adventist education. I work for an organization here in British Columbia that has well over 1,100 students. I work in this conference office that puts such a high emphasis on education. And it's just amazing when I get to travel around and visit our schools to see the incredible things that are going on in the classrooms, not just teaching, but I get to witness teachers having worship with their kids. I get to witness kids praying with each other. I get to see them learning about Jesus every day, and it is just amazing. And so when you want to give back to something that has just made such a huge impact in your life, you want to make a difference. And one of the ways that a lot of people don't understand that you can give back to Adventist education is through paying tithe. A lot of people don't realize that we get a substantial amount of money from the British Columbia tithe offerings that go right back into Adventist education. This helps our schools function. It helps us here to have the staff in the office that we need. The Lord has blessed me in so many ways, just my journey, and to give back in that way is extra special for me. Some people may say, well, that's kind of selfish, Phil, because you're just paying tithe because you wanted to go to Adventist education. No, I pay tithe because that's what God's directed us to do. And because of that, the blessings that I've received, my whole journey through Adventist education. I graduated from an Adventist school. I met my wife at an Adventist university. My kids were dedicated in an Adventist church. They were baptized in an Adventist church. So that's why it's made such a huge impact in my life. I'm proud of working for an organization that wants, the sole purpose is to prepare children to someday walk the streets of gold. Stewardship, for me, is become personable because I see the fruits of the spirits of that tithe giving. And so it's amazing when you allow God to do things like that for you in your life. And that's what I want to do. I want to make a difference in people's lives, in kids' lives. I want them to know Jesus better. So if you ever get an email from me, you'll see in a red tagline at the bottom of my email, it says, "Don't make a living, make a difference."